What's good? What's good? What's good? What's up, everybody? Boy. Commonwealth's podcast back again. It's your boy Stick Steve. Up in this thing, we got a special guest today. Well, not really a special guest anymore, man. You've been rocking on this joint for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? You've been like a mainstay on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Special, though.
Still special. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people been wondering, yo, where's Steve and that, man? I've been here. We just been rocking in the show. We just been flipping, doing something different. But, you know, I'm back. You know what I'm saying? We're finna go in here, have a real good show. You know, something a little different than what we normally do, man. It's more interactive. I call it the more serious Commonwealth podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just sit back. If you watch and enjoy it, we're finna see where everything goes. You know what I'm saying? So normally when we open up the show, we like to talk about our week. So I got to ask, how's your week been? What's been going on with you?
This week, or from last week?
Let's go from last week and kind of ride it in since the last show.
It's been like 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Last week was super busy. I had a lot of creative stuff that I was doing. I'm working in a new medium, basically.
Okay.
So, and that medium is photography. Like, I'm not taking photos, but I'm in front of the camera. And so I've been exploring how that is very different from what I normally do. And the creative process around that. So it's just been really interesting. Because I'm in the realm of like illustration usually.
Okay.
Illustration and painting. And so there's a certain way that you capture real life using that medium. And what I realized is that it's similar to photography in the sense that you're still having to adjust. Like you're adjusting reality to show reality.
Okay.
And it's a process, but in visual art versus photography, it's just different. So what I mean like is like poses. So like you have a feeling of what you see in real life that hits you a certain way and it like may hit your aesthetic. But when you're actually taking photos, you have to like contort in an unrealistic way to show that reality. So yeah, so it's been really fascinating.
That's what's up though. To be honest with you, I like taking photos, and I think one of the things that got me into photography is what you talking about. Now, I hate being in front of the camera though. I despise being in front of the camera.
Well, for me, this is an edge. This is a creative edge because I'm also normally behind the scenes. You know, we were talking about this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I spent like 20 plus years in administration.
Okay.
So I'm very comfortable knowing the operations of a place and having shit run.
Okay.
Right. So having to be like the CEO or being in the front and being responsible for communicating to, you know, society at large about whatever you're doing is not usually the role that I'm in. And so I decided I've got some other creative collaborators that I work with in town. And so there was an opportunity there and I was like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and push this edge a little bit more and let me see what I can discover about myself. Because it keeps me curious.
Yeah.
It keeps me asking questions. And as an artist, I have to continually be curious about like what's attractive to me, what turns me on, like what arouses my sense of creativity in all of the different realms. And so, I always continue to like pick up opportunities for that purpose. Yeah.
That's what's up. So when you taking pictures, is it like all kinds of pictures?
I'm not taking pictures.
I mean, like when you're in front of the camera, my bad. Like, are you doing like all kinds of pictures, a certain kind? Like,
I went into like last week's photo shoot I wanted to do some branding photos. And what I mean by that really is just like, I wanted to see if I could get my artwork on camera and also a little bit of my personality for, the company that I'm currently running.
Okay.
And because I'm about to like push that company out into the social media sphere where it's been sort of, you know, close knit, where meaning, you know, I'm really just working with like network colleagues and people who know me through that network. So that's really been the bulk of my business for the last 3 years. And so as I start to like expand on what that could be, I've also noticed that, I simultaneously have to ask myself, like I've spent like the last 9 months asking myself, like, what is fame to me? What's the difference between fans and collectors? What's the difference between fans and colleagues? Right? Like, am I comfortable having fans? What level of attention am I actually comfortable receiving?
Facts.
So I've been like pushing all of these different edges in order to get to a place where once I launch this company, I can be a little louder and I'm uncomfortable like being on camera or being in a photo shoot. So I just decided to get like the action that I could take at the time was to do the inner work. So I spent the time doing the inner work until the opportunities sort of started to trickle in.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. I like, what I really didn't appreciate the type of art you talking about right now until I started taking pictures. Like I didn't appreciate that at all.
No, it's fucking lengthy, right? Like
It
it's
is
a lot of time.
Yeah.
On both parties. That's
It
the
is.
thing. It's like it's just as much time behind the camera as it is for the person taking the photos.
Exactly.
Like you're contorting, you've got to stay. Like you've got it's holding poses and
Getting
shit.
the rule of
It's
thirds.
fucking tiring.
Yeah, then you gotta do
I was really
do the
surprised.
editing on the back end.
Right.
And then getting it out
Right.
there and putting it out there the right way. Like I did not appreciate
The time
anything
and
like
effort.
that. Yeah. I was like, just get the camera, take a picture, 5 minutes, and then
No,
you're
no,
done.
no.
And then when you actually see the actual work that artists put
Right.
into it, it's like you see
It's a
it. It's
lot.
like you enter the matrix. It's like a whole nother world.
Well, it's also, I would say, one of the benefit of, so I did a shoot and then I ended up doing a reshoot,
Right.
right? Because there was things like once we collaborated on what I really wanted and then what was also simultaneously possible, and then what the photographer wanted, like, because everybody has different visions.
Yep.
Right. So the cool thing was like we all kind of came in. So I brought my, I have a really good friend in town who is a professional dominatrix. So she came with me to the shoot for a couple of reasons. A, safety, because I didn't know this person.
Right.
Like I knew this person, but not face to face.
Right.
So this is the first time that because he was traveling. He's a traveling photographer. So, but within that, we all had different visions. And so we had to find like the middle. And once we found the middle, then shit was popping. But it was cool too, because it was like, we were like, oh, let's do it like this, or let's do it like this, or I want to do it like this, or like, you know what I mean? Like just doing different shots. And so that was really interesting and unique. And so after that, then he sort of hit me up. He was like, I've got like a couple more days here. Now that I've seen you like in your element and how your mind works, I want you to come back, and I've got some ideas on how to clean up some of the stuff that you actually wanted.
So now y'all linked up now.
Right. And so then I went to the reshoot, and we did get some like really good shots of just me. Like the other shots of my homie came out really good. But she's also been doing photo shoots for like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So she already knew what she had. You know what I mean? Like she had her whole poses and shit like that. So watching her too was also helpful. Just to kind of see what she was doing. It's like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, I wanted to take pictures of people, but like you said, it's a process. It's like, if I took pictures of people, do I have to command them? And do I have to, like, it's up to me.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, do I want to, do I want
take control?
And I don't know if I want to do that or not. Like, I want to be like, hey, you, get over here, bend this way, do that.
Right.
You know?
And see, this is what I was saying earlier, is that, like, I have no problem being the direction.
Right.
If needed. And so that was one of the reasons the collaboration really well. All three of us are doms to some degree.
Okay.
Like we had, my homie is a professional dominatrix. Like she literally, that is her profession. She's a professional dominatrix. That's what she does.
They get paid to dominate.
And then the homie is like on the dom spectrum because he's in the BDSM community. And I'm also on the dom spectrum myself. So in that, we were all able to sort of like pick up when needed. So everybody had their like, no, we're doing this right now, or no, we're doing that right now. What do you want me to do?
Scoot down.
Scoot down.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you noticed it. If you sat up.
Oh.
Frame.
I sat up because
We're
it's
on
more
live
comfortable.
television.
Oh, we on live. How's it
okay,
go?
okay.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, when
man,
he
we
cut
always
the
get it.
camera too, because he was like, not working. It's not working.
So how does that work? Having 3 foremen, essentially.
What do you? Oh, 3 foreman is one way you could do it. I mean, I think that because, in our collaboration, it worked really well because everybody just kind of like instinctively took turns,
Okay.
right? Because it's like you're only gonna be, you're only popping for like 5-10 minutes, and then you're gonna defer, right? 'Cause
Okay.
you want to rest, you want to take a break or whatever. So yeah, I think it really worked out well. We were all very happy with the connection, the collaboration, and also the photos. So it worked out really well.
That's dope. Like I want to.
Super, super fun.
Yeah, I've never worked with anybody on my photos before. Like I never worked with the team. I always
Yeah.
go out by myself. Like when I do photography, it's like a sense of therapy for me. You know how some people like to
Sure.
smoke cigarettes, they want to drink, they want to smoke weed, do whatever they
Yeah.
want to do. It's like a vice. Photography is like a vice for me. Like I
Uh-huh.
have to go out there, I take my camera and I can just manipulate it and kind of do what I want to do. I just go out to a mountain or go in the city. I put my headphones on. It's like everything goes black. And it's just me, my music, and my camera. And I just snap photos.
So you do mostly landscape.
Yeah, mostly
like nature
landscape,
stuff?
things that don't move, that don't talk back to me. I enjoy that type of stuff. That's like my way. I guess it's my way of dominating, right? Is that a form of domination?
No, it's your way of escaping.
Okay, but it's not a way of
Like it's
dominating.
your way of getting away from society. So I get away from a society through film and like anime or like binge watching a show, for instance. Like if I don't want to fucking talk, I'm typically watching something on TV.
Okay.
Or I might be listening to music and cleaning my house, right? Like I'm at home. I'm an introvert also, so I have
Okay.
lots of those tactics. Is what I'm trying to say. It's not just one fucking thing. It's like a whole array of things that I do as an introvert at home to entertain myself. But yeah, it's more of like it's your method of, kind of removing the closeness of the external world, so you have your own inner world. So for me, though, when it comes to being in the world or engaging in the world, there's a certain realm that I like to do that in.
Okay.
Right. So it's like, because I'm an introvert, I like to stay home. Like I could kick it at home multiple days. Lockdown was not a fucking problem for me. Like I enjoyed the fact that people were not outside. That shit was glorious.
I
But
think
like,
I think
so when I do decide to engage with my external community, I have sort of a vision of how that's going to go so that I enjoy it. Right? Like I don't really fuck with the world unless it's within a certain, like there's got to be an equity of exchange there.
Okay.
And I like to cultivate part of my energy in that equity of exchange. So like when it comes to like the photo shoot, that was something that I coordinated. And my homie who's done photos with lots of different people, she was like, yo, that was like the best fucking photo shoot I think I've ever had. And I was like, bet.
So you got something going.
That's the kind of shit I'm on.
That's what's up. Collaboration.
I'm trying to creatively collaborate with as many fucking artists that exist that are close to me, like as humanly possible.
That's what's
and
up.
that's like, for me, that's the vision. So I just hone in on that as much as I can, and I typically have really good results. That's why we were talking earlier about worldview. So like my worldview isn't around people suck. My worldview is around there's lots of creative geniuses out here, and how can I meet as many of them as possible?
That's yeah. It's just people. I don't know. It's like a certain level. Like when I'm taking photos.
What do you mean by that?
Like as far as like a certain level, as far as like when I'm dealing with people, like when I'm taking photos, like how y'all collab, I would love to do that, right? But just the inside of me just want to tell you, yo, fuck out my way, man. Like this is what I'm doing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that also sounds a little bit like a protective feature, Right? Like you're kind of doing that because you don't want to be involved in something that may go awry, or there may be failure, or maybe there's some part of another person's personality that you actually have to put in effort towards in order to like find commonality.
Yeah.
So you're just defensively being like, I'm not gonna do it, fuck it. Right? Because you don't know. So in avoiding the unknown, you're also avoiding potential.
Yeah.
I mean,
It could potentially be
as a creative
good.
person, I'm going to say that straight out. Like,
Yeah.
if you're avoiding some level of interaction, you're also avoiding potential. So you want to get really clear about the why of that. That's where the curiosity comes in. Like, get really curious about yourself. Why the fuck do you do that? You say you want to collaborate, but you're not taking any steps to go there. Why?
Because it's like when you're dealing with people, right? It's like you said, like it can go south. It can go either good or it can go south. I don't want to deal with going south. Like
why?
Because I don't want to deal.
But that's part of living.
It's
part of living.
But I just I don't want to deal with it. Like so, the best way is I'll just avoid it. It's not right. Like I feel what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
you spit the truth.
I'm not here to judge if it's right or wrong. I'm here to hear your own curiosity about why you do that. Like I'm curious about the why you doing that.
Because
why are you, in a way, like why are you sabotaging something that you say that you want before you even take steps to maybe see how that looks? Like you haven't even put yourself in front of that arena yet, and you're already just like, nah. I'm just curious about that. I want to know more about that.
Nah, because it's like the world, like I see too much online. I see too much with people working, trying to network, and I see more bad than good. I see good every now and then, but the bad outweighs the good.
What does that have to do with you? That ain't got shit to do with you.
I mean, I just think it could happen to me. I just think maybe it could happen to me. I just don't want to take a lot of risks like that. I've never been a real big risk taker. You know, I like my things to be real set, like, okay, I do this. So I do this. Like for me, I worked the same job for 22 years. Like I didn't change. I did the same thing. Didn't change my job. Worked the same way. Knew when I was getting paid. Knew when everything was going on. It gives me a level of comfort. You know what I mean? Knowing that that's one less thing that I had to worry about in an already chaotic world. You know what I mean? So
chaos
I like things
is the
to
way
be,
of life, yeah.
And I know it's a lot out there, and I have to deal with it a little bit, but I don't want to bring it to my door. Like I don't want to have to deal with chaos on my door. Like I hear about chaos, I know what's out there. I had to deal with it when I'm dealing with my job, but I don't want to have to always bring it to me voluntarily. And that's kind of a lot of what the ways I push off. Like it's real hard for me to open up to people. It's like when I see some new shit, I'm like, hold up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on for a second. I don't know about this. I gotta I'm real reserved. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I used to be really open about things. I used to be
cautious.
Cool with, I used to be real cool. But then as I got older, the circle just started getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Facts.
And I was like,
your inner circle should be small.
Yeah.
Right? It should be small and intimate because it is what it is. It's close to your heart. But you could also consider it's like a tree. You have the core of the tree, and then the tree has rungs, right? Many, many circles until the outer bark actually hits the external world. And humans are not dissimilar. We're very much like a tree. So we have our core essence, right?
Right.
And then our skin is hitting the external world. Well, when you expand that to the energetic presence that humans actually have, which is beyond the veil, meaning it's not like you see people's energetic presence, although you may feel it. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Like you've been somewhere and someone's walked in the room and you've stopped to see this other being walk in the room because you could feel their presence before they even got to you, right? This is what I'm talking about, energetic presence. So much like our physicality, right? We've got an energetic presence, and you can either contract that or expand it. And so, yeah, it's just sort of like that, like in terms of what do you want to...
Yeah, so that's just one of the things for me. I like to I like to keep things safe. That's just how I am. You know, like I don't like taking a bunch of risks. That's just how I live. That's how I've always been since I've been growing up. Cause I always had stuff happen. Like I don't know. I had a chaotic upbringing, man, and I don't. It's just this is deep. It's just I don't like chaos, man. Like I hate it. Like I
understand that from the perspective of having like certain levels of trauma that come in to play when you're growing up and things you don't want to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah. But also, chaos is a part of existence.
Facts.
And so, in a way, if you can sort of shake hands with the energetic presence of chaos and learn it a little bit more, you may feel a little bit more comfortable. It doesn't mean, and no one's asking you to like go outside of your comfort zone to a place where you're uncomfortable. Like, I don't necessarily do things that are uncomfortable. I do things that are pushing my edge of uncomfortability. And within that, I still get the amount of energy, how I do it, who I'm doing it with. Do you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
There's still a lot of choices that I get to make. And so I just align myself with those choices and remember that, like, I have control. And if I don't like something, I can get up and leave.
So that's what you see, like, so with your business you got going, do you see you collaborating with the same 3 people you've been collaborating with?
No,
or?
Those are truly, I mean, outside of my homie, those are new people.
Okay.
Right? Like how G and I met, totally random in one regard.
Right.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Like just kind of pulled it out of the ether, but here we are.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
So with your photos, you plan on putting them on like a website? You got like a
Yeah, I have to look through them first. And then I'll probably do some editing and I'll probably release as other things get released.
And so look, if I had a company, let's say I had some clothing that I wanted to get modeled, I could be like, hey, is that the type of work you be into as well as like?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm open for all work.
You got the plug. Hey, we open for work. You got a website or anything you got up right now?
I'm available for work. If you want to reach me, really, I have a Patreon. It's the Creative Curandera. And I am also on TikTok. And then just hit whatever channel this is already on. Just say, hey, I'd like to book Ina. Whatever.
Bang.
Y'all get a hold of me, I would imagine.
We went.
Make it easy.
We took the whole show, right? We was talking about how the week went. I didn't talk about
that was last week for me.
That was last week.
That was last week for me.
Just
being in my creative edge zone. Yeah.
Man, for me, like the last week, I ain't been on the show. It's been like 3 weeks since I've been on the show. I want to say since we haven't been on the show, the most recent we did was we filmed a wedding, and working with G. Man.
But you had some things to say about that wedding too.
Yeah, it was
not
cool.
The wedding, but the background, the work itself.
Yeah, just like I said, the creative process. I think we're spoiled as humans when it comes to production. Like you see the end product, right? But you don't understand the process that goes behind it. You know what I mean? To put in the work. Like as working with G, like we go on these video shoots, when I see the product, I'm like, man, I see it differently now. Like I said, it changed my vision. Like I see the walk around with the gimbal, holding it in the sun, reshoot, do it over again, change the lens, grab the batteries, make sure we capturing everything the right way. The post-production, the hours of changing the color, bringing it back, making sure we got the camera the right way.
Right.
It's like, and then you do all this work.
Right.
And then the video
for
be
5 minutes.
For like 5 minutes. I'm like, bro, we was out there for like 15 hours, bro.
Exactly,
and we did a movie.
Exactly.
We went to Japan. Like the first time I seen them do it, we were in Japan. We did like the sneaker convention, right? We get up, it's like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like 6 a.m. I'm hyped. I'm like, bro, we finna be here for like 3 hours. You know what I mean?
All day.
All day.
Yeah.
All day long. All day.
That's
We
very
didn't leave that thing till about 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 o'clock at night, we did the video. But then when I saw the video, I'm thinking this should be like an hour.
No.
I think that shoot was like, what was the video, like 15 minutes? 20 at that? But the drone was shot and everything. It was fly, though. It was real fly. But it's just like working, I don't know, working with creatives is pretty cool. Like stepping out into that creative space and seeing how creatives get down is kind of dope because everybody got their process. I was in like a shell. Like I lived a very robotic lifestyle. It was like, okay, the sky is blue. The sun goes down at this time. The sun goes down at that time.
Right.
Ain't no in between. You know what I mean? There's no in between. So when I talk to different people, like when I hear your perspectives, I hear G's perspective, and I'm learning. It's helping me become a better person. You know what I mean? Understand things better.
Probably a better artist also.
Yeah, because photography is something that I like doing, but I half-assed it a lot, though. I should be going more into it because I kind of balance either chasing my dream of being a photographer, being a creative, or do I want to keep doing what's safe? Getting my networking certification.
I mean, you can do both, you know.
It's kind of hard, though, because when you work in networks, you can be creative, but it's very limited.
Well, networks itself is a creative process.
It is. It
Absolutely.
is a creative process when you're building a network. You're trying to go with IP schemes.
It's a lot of work and pieces and connectivity of knowing. Like, you know, you have to know how things interrelate. You're constantly in a state of creative process, actually, when doing something like engineering. It's just the output and our perspective on it seems to be a little bit different, but it's still creative.
Oh my God!
Wow, that was okay.
Yeah, that's me being clumsy. I want the world. I was like, yo, I want the world to see my shoes, but I got like, no, you can't
really
go see the shoes. Nah, they're not gonna see them today. It's no sneaker preview today, guys. But nah, I ain't gonna lie, this feels real good to be back, man. I've been gone for a while. I'm like nervous. I'm like, you know how you've been gone for a while, and you come back to the office again after you've been gone for a couple weeks. You try to get your feet wet. That's what it feels like. But I've missed it though, man. It's been a real good space, real good episode, man. If like we say, we do a normal plug. If you're watching right now, please, interact with us on the chat, restream, jump into the group, friends of the page, and have a conversation with us. The Commonwealth podcast has always been good. You know what I'm saying? We always about the interaction. So if you're watching, man, throw something out there. Say what's up. Holler at us. You know what I mean? It's been a while. Hit us up, man. You know how we get down. But yeah, let's see what else. Last week, went to go see Spider-Verse, right?
Mm-hmm. And you fell asleep.
I did. I fell asleep.
I'm gonna call you out on that shit.
Nah, it was like
exactly.
I don't want to. Well, listen, if you ain't seen the movie by now, man, then you fell in that life anyway. So I could talk about it.
No,
a little
don't
bit.
talk about it. I haven't seen it yet.
You ain't seen it?
I haven't seen the one that's in theaters now. I've only seen the first one, so I'm excited. You're not gonna boo me, bitch. I'm a single mom of 3. You know what I'm saying?
Have you been to the movies?
Somebody come give me some time off so I can go to this motherfucking movie.
The time you gonna need, because that movie is long as
The more you
hell.
fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, the movie is long though. It's long, so make sure you block some time.
How long?
What did it say, about 2 hours?
Yeah.
It was definitely 2 hours for some animation. I was like, yo, they hands got to be hurting like a motherfucker to draw a 2 hour movie.
Let me tell you something though. Recently, so I have my oldest son is 18, and I came home recently from going out or whatever. I don't remember what I was doing, and he was like, "Yo, I got this link from fucking Discord that's got the movie, bro." And I was like, "Hold that thought."
You thought about watching it?
I was like, "Hold that thought."
Hey, I'm saying though.
It was more like, I don't know if I want to know more or less at this point.
What, you worried about, like how it's gonna look, or was it illegal or not, or what?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was legal or illegal. I don't really care. I mean, I care, but I don't care, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, no one's gonna know if you watch it. As long as you don't download to your computer, you good.
Right, that part.
The thing about me is when they had these bootlegs, right? If it look crappy, you can't watch it because you're cheating yourself of the experience.
I think that's my other side of the point. So it's kind of like I'm a huge Demon Slayer fan, like huge. Okay, like it's my one of my favorite animes right now. And I have literally not watched the most recent season because I also can't stand a cliffhanger. So I have literally been like ostracizing myself from from this whole like fan base because I don't want anybody to spoil it for me. And my same son, I only have one, and he was just like, "Mom, the last one dropped Sunday. You can binge watch as of Sunday." I was like,
We got a lot in common. Yeah.
like fucking finally, like, because I hate having to wait a week. Like when I was watching Chainsaw Man, I was like always so pissed off when it ended. I was like, no, bro.
Ain't that crazy though? How we
The
came
fuck?
up, like, isn't it crazy? Shout out to Netflix, man, for being like the first people to do that. Like, give us the whole
No,
season.
For real.
Yeah, we didn't.
real.
That was unheard of until Netflix came about.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what's that show when the dude was the evil president. What is the show? It was the dude was the president. Then
Like 24 or something.
nah, it was on Netflix. One of the main shows on Netflix. When dude was the president, that was like one of the first shows we got with Kevin Spacey. Yep, the show with Kevin
Oh,
Spacey.
was that House of Cards?
House of Cards. That was the first
I never
show.
watched that.
Yeah, that was the first show I saw where they dropped the whole season.
Oh.
And then that's what we became entitled. Now it was like, yo, I want it now. You
I don't know
what I
about
mean?
entitled, but
Well,
definitely
it
less
gave us the
patient.
thirst. It gave us like, now if you don't drop
Right.
the whole season right now,
Right.
then I can't watch it. That's what happened with me with a couple shows that I watch. Like right now, I don't watch Power till it ends. I was watching the show.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
My show with Franklin Saint. I done forgot the name of the show now. Snowfall. Like I had to wait till.
Oh God, I can't even watch fucking Snowfall. I was like, that's like, it's so Cali in the 80s and 90s that I'm just like, bro, I was living that shit with a bunch of other motherfuckers who were living
Is it like
it's
PTSD for
too
you?
fucking much, dude.
Yeah. I like the show, but I can't watch it
Oh my God.
episode to episode. I did it last season. It was torture.
Yeah.
Like I had to I got to wait 7 days again. It's like, yeah. That's like even watching The Mandalorian.
Ain't nobody
Like,
got time for that.
Right.
watching The Mandalorian.
I really like The Mandalorian. I thought that they did that particular like series pretty well. I didn't know if I was gonna like it a lot, but I really like The Mandalorian.
Disney is on fire right now.
I don't know that Disney's on fire, but I can say I like. I fucking.
You don't think they on fire?
Definitely on fire,
No.
but not the way you talk.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't.
What? Okay,
I don't
can we?
fuck
Can
with
we?
everything
So
that Disney
time
does.
out. Time out.
Yeah.
Time out. Time out. Time out.
All right.
Why y'all mad at Disney? Like, how's Disney on fire?
I mean,
They're literally on fire. That's where we restructured the whole MCU, like phase 4,
Yeah,
phase
that
5,
part.
phase 6. And then
Yeah.
the writer's strike.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
the actors strike is supposed to be.
it's an actor strike coming
Supposed to be on the horizon.
probably.
because of corporate greed,
Well, yeah.
evil
there's
empire.
that.
The
Yep.
strike is not because of corporate greed. The strike is to ensure, the best interest of the people that are acting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so this is a really good segue back into the creative process because here again, you can't have a fucking web series, Netflix. You don't have Netflix or Disney or Amazon or whatever unless you have fucking creatives who are writing and filming and producing and acting a bunch of shit. Like I was just talking about this recently on TikTok because so in the BDSM community, of course, there's like, you can be a voyeur. And I was talking about how at this point, every fucking human is a voyeur. We're all watching other people all
we
day
are.
long. Like
Yeah,
we
we
just
do.
can't, like our eyeballs can't consume enough of other people's lifestyles and the way they live, or like the whole get ready with me videos, or like
Talking about
the
that Kardashian
DIY
shit.
video. No, I don't fuck with that.
But isn't
like,
that voyeurism,
I'm just
though?
I'm just saying in general. Like, don't get me into specifics because I don't.
Okay, all
our
right.
specifics won't be the same.
You
So,
right.
like-
You right.
Which is- I'm not no judgment.
Nah,
I'm
it's
just
cool.
saying,
It's like apples and oranges.
I can't relate with something like the Kardashians because I don't fuck with. I don't even know anything about these people outside of like some of their relationships to basketball players. Like honestly,
Right.
So I can't speak to that. But like, in general, we're all towing the voyeur line. We're all voyeurists at this point, and it's really just like a spectrum of, you know, what degree of voyeurism are you interested in, and what's your kink while you're watching people. Like I would venture to say, people on TikTok, we all have our own we all have our own kinks on TikTok.
Right.
Right? And that's your For You page. It's basically made up of your preferences, aka kinks.
So let me ask you a question. Is it a kink that I like to watch traffic cams?
Yes.
That I like to just see the traffic moving throughout the city?
Is it something that you're comfortable talking about usually?
I'm comfortable talking about it, but I'm like, now that you talk about it like Warriors, I'm like, yo, now that I had to go back and think
just
about myself, I'm like, I'm watching the traffic move throughout the city.
Watching surveillance. And again,
am I a voyeur?
So the biggest voyeurs are obviously the governments, because they're just watching all of us, and then they provided this tool, since they were already watching us, to then get us also simultaneously hooked on watching other humans, so that we would be even more comfortable living in a surveillance system. So
living a life like a real life Big Brother.
I think it's way beyond Big Brother at this point, but yeah.
It's kind of like that, though.
That's the terminology that I know people like to use, and that's what people will be familiar with. Right.
Big Brother. Big Brother. That's how they call it overseas when I first saw it.
There's nothing brotherly about that shit, though, like at all.
No, we just call it Big Brother.
Because you wouldn't call what, listen, you wouldn't call somebody a big brother if they were watching you and it creeped you out, right? So that in and of itself is a weird kink to me. Like that in and of itself, that they decided to use this euphemism of Big Brother for something that is so kind of creepy and detrimental and sort of like closeted. I was like,
Yo, you just like, damn, that just kind of just changed my whole
it's fucking weird.
It's like, would my big brother watch me while I was in the shower or walking?
Hope not.
Yeah, you know, it's like damn.
Consent involved, but
I know. Why could it have been
creepy.
like, you know, I don't know, Big Boss or something? I don't know, Big Brother. Yeah, they need to change that up, man. That's kind of weird.
Just call it what it is. Surveillance.
I hate it though. The thing I hate about surveillance, you know what I hate about surveillance? I hate it how people will be watching somebody fight and then they just have the camera. And they just watching them.
Oh, instead of helping.
Because
we've turned human beings into products and into entertainment versus other humans who need help, assistance, compassion, a hug. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's why there's so much touch hunger in the world right now. People are fucking lonely. We have all this technology and people are fucking lonelier than
That's why I tell people. So I'm gonna break in because people call me a conspiracy theorist, right? Because I tell people all the time, I'm like, yo, the more we connect devices, the more we get disconnected. Like I don't like, yeah, you know, my refrigerator, I can see what's in the refrigerator. I'm like, bro, why the fuck do you want to see what's in the refrigerator without
just
going
walk
in there?
to it and open the fucking door.
Yeah, and then it's like it's like we be at work, right? And then the biggest thing about being like in the military, right, is that we would have cubicles, right? And then it'd be an office cubicle, or it'd be a guy working 2 things down from you. They'll send you an email. I'm like, bro, you couldn't just get up and just come talk to me? Like you couldn't say, hey, Steve, what's up? You know, and then you could send me the email too. It's kind of like a reminder, but you could have just came on there and spoke to me. And people used to think that I was weird because I would just go over there and talk to them. It's like, you can't just call them or just walk over there. Like, nah, I want to go over there and see the person. Like, I want to see the person behind the email.
Exactly.
Because so much conversation gets lost in text. I've had it now where I'm texting people and I'm thinking like, bro, are we beefing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, are we beefing? And then,
exactly.
And you have a whole conversation, and then you like, no, it ain't like that. But the way the texts were coming out, I thought we was finna go to blows. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have that human element no more. Right. You know? And again, with me, like I say, like in 2020, when we had the whole lockdown in Germany, right? So Germany, you think COVID was locked down in America. Man, listen, Germany had everything locked down. You know, the only thing they had open in Germany was a gas station, the grocery store, the place to get your car fixed, and a hospital. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? If you went to McDonald's, it was drive-through only. You know what I mean? And they closed everything at 8 o'clock at night. 2000.
Oh, so they
everything.
had curfew too.
What? They weren't promoting
Right.
people being out at nighttime.
Right.
And then I'm in Germany by myself, right? So I'm over there. All my friends left. So I spent the whole 2020, like pretty much May till June by myself. So it kind of made me, I relied on that. Like, that's all I had to do. It was rough. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because I'm like, I think kind of like how we talk, like I'm social introvert. I'm social when I want to be social, and then sometimes I don't want to be social.
Sure.
But it was one of the times where I missed the social. Like I
Yeah.
missed going and talking to people because I realized as I get older, yeah, it's easy to send a text,
Right.
but it's so much lost in that text, man, versus just going to see the person.
You know what's interesting about that is, so two things. I was reminded of two things while you were talking. The first is, this is actually also another thing that I see a lot of in terms of like what's happening in this like larger social sphere, is what we call touch hunger.
Right.
So like when you were talking about the refrigerator, I was like, that's really interesting to me because people are trying, I don't even know that folks are doing it consciously, right? But in a way, it's like if you're looking in your fridge via video, you're thinking that somehow it's giving you the same gratification as it would if you just touched the handle and opened the door and started touching things in your refrigerator, but it doesn't. And that's one of the reasons that people have so much touch hunger. They're like deferring to applications, and they're deferring to like video or like getting communication, or somehow like, and some people are having whole relationships on fucking AI based platforms. Like they come home and they have a conversation with this AI bot on, the internet, right? That's not the same thing as having human connection, or like you and I sitting on this couch and having a conversation. You're not going to get the same, you just don't get the same level of hormonal involvement. And as human beings, it's our hormones that really dictate whether we are actually feeling engaged in our life.
Yeah. I believe
our
that.
hormones create our reactions, our emotions, our drive, our motivation.
One of the biggest
So-
things I had of 2020, right, that really got to me was when I would go a weekend, right, and I hadn't spoken to anybody. Like the whole weekend, I didn't open my mouth, but to eat and to brush my teeth. That was it. Zero interaction. That will fuck with you a little bit. Like,
Oh, sure.
it definitely
This is why
fuck with me.
motherfuckers go crazy in isolation. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like, we've been having this isolation conversation for many, many years in this country, right? Because of how detrimental it is to the human existence, to the human condition. Like, you literally will lose your mind, right? So it's like, yeah, absolutely. Isolation is very weird for humans. We are absolutely wired to be community-based beings.
And that's why I would say like the 90s, right? That's why I'm happy. Like I get if you look at some of the old episodes, I take a lot of shit because I always say the 90s was like one of the best times. I would say the 90s was dope because we was kids. We ain't had no internet. We had
Right.
to go outside. You know what I mean? So we had to just be around other kids.
Yeah.
Like your whole life was based on being social. You know what I mean? Where nowadays,
for better or for worse.
yeah, it was cool. You just go outside and hang
Yeah.
out. You knew where all the kids was by
Right.
where the bikes was at.
Well, this is the other thing about like not having cell phones. So I was in college and we still did not have cell phones.
I was 19 when I
And
got my
so
first cell phone.
It was really interesting because you just knew where to go. Like everybody this is where chaos comes in too, like good chaos, because you kind of have like this theory of chaos and it's all got to be like detrimental or have a negative result, right?
Yeah.
But the other side of chaos is like this example I'm going to give you, which is we didn't have cell phones.
Right.
We didn't have fucking phones in our dorm. But let me tell you something. At about the same time, every fucking day, I knew where my homies were at, and then we went to go party. So it's like we would always find each other. Like you would just find each other energetically. So sometimes
weird.
I'd be thinking about somebody, and here they come walking up the whatever area of the school I was in, right? So I'm saying like this is the other thing about just energy in general. Like you can expand your energy out and then attract what it is that's on your mind. Right? So it's like you can get really comfortable about that, or just really engaged with your relationship to using your energy to really live and cultivate the life that you want to see.
Yeah,
So bringing your fantasy out into reality is like a real thing.
That's one of the things that, like in this time of connectivity, it's crazy how everything, like I said, when I be at work, people always say connectivity, the internet. Like I work with the internet, and it like scares me. Like I am, to me, I'm gonna tell y'all a confession on the show. I am scared of all of it. Like I'm terrified of it. Like I'm terrified of, okay, the cell phone can connect to this, and then you get these super fast speeds, and then now we got all the stoplights connected, and then now it's on this network. Now this one guy can administer it, and then this person can control it. Like I was really talking to one of my homies. Well, it isn't one of homie, it's one of the it's like a person I talk to.
Yeah.
I guess it could be like a counselor, I guess. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah. He always like, Steve, you're always talking about this stuff on the deep. And I'm like, bro, like I can't, like I find it hard to get comfortable sometimes, because when you see everything, you see so much, it makes you think that something's gonna happen, which I saw back is why I love taking photos. So when I take photos, I don't think about none of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when I'm taking my photos,
you give your brain a vacation.
man, my brain is yeah, my brain is literally not thinking about anything. Like my brain has slowed down, and the earth, you know how when you see the movies and everything is going slow, and the earth then just slow down. And I got my camera and I'm just I'm capturing the moment. And that's why when I was living in Europe and Japan, I would take so many photos. Like it'd be a day where I'd take like 2,200 photos. And at the time it just went by, but my brain was so relaxed, it was like I was sleeping. You know what I mean?
Can I also say that I find it interesting because essentially, if you're taking 200 photos a day in another country, you're also performing your own means of surveillance.
Well, photos of things, not people. Landmarks,
I'm just
cars.
saying.
Yeah, I mean now
Like-
now you got me looking at pictures.
Well,
That
no,
am
no,
I a
I'm just
voyeur because
saying-
I'm taking photos now?
Yeah, but the reason I bring that up is because there's kind of a connection between what you do for work and then how you find relaxation, but they're not necessarily unrelated.
Right.
That's why I was really bringing that up. They're not necessarily unrelated. However, it's just like the different side of the coin that you're trying to find the mental relaxation.
Right.
So connectivity is something like everything, people say this all the time, but like everything is connected, right? You have whole body systems in anything, in any realm, in every realm, essentially. So, yeah.
I don't know. I just be like, bruh, you gotta get the app now to connect your flight to make it cut on. Like I'm like, bruh, like I kind of hate it, man. Like I really do hate it. Like the more the stuff that gets connected, I'm like,
right.
This new automated process. You know what I mean? I'm like, you taking the human element out of everything. It just bothers me.
You're not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong. Although it still takes humans to run all that shit. Like, honestly.
But you know what was like, I went through a course not too long ago. I was in a computer course, and they were talking about cybersecurity, right? Mm-hmm. And then they have this thing called big machine learning.
Yeah.
Where the machine, well, I'm pretty sure you heard of that, where the machine learns. So if someone.
Machine learning has been around for over 50 years.
Right.
It just looks different every season. Yeah.
But it's like now, they're learning now if there's a cyber attack, the machine knows how to react to the cyber attack.
Sure. That's technology working for itself, right?
Yeah, but that makes me nervous.
Why?
Because you ever seen Terminator 2?
Of course.
Skynet becomes aware.
Yeah.
So now if the thing is running itself, you know what I'm saying, it did, you know, now you got AI put into it. Now you got this thing that's thinking. You know what I'm saying? Now you got this whole network, he thinks. You know what I mean?
But everything on Earth, everything on Earth thinks.
Yeah, I mean, the Earth is one thing. Oh, you think, I mean, well, the Earth could wake up and kill us too. That's a whole nother
No, but I'm
ball
saying
game.
everything on the Earth is alive.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
The Earth is alive. Yeah.
So all of the things have some level of a consciousness, right?
Right.
But I guess my question is, why is this human-made thing that may have its own consciousness make you so uncomfortable?
Because what if he starts controlling more and more things? What if he takes over,
Takes over
weaponry?
what?
Weaponry, airplanes.
Well, it's not like humans have done any better with weaponry. We're still killing a bunch of motherfuckers. We had colonization, slavery, fucking human trafficking. Like, are we doing any better?
I mean, I don't know. Do we want to get trafficked by a machine or by a human? I don't know which one's better. Like, none of them is better. None of them. I'm not saying
First
that's
of all,
good.
could we pause on that question for a fucking moment?
Well, I didn't mean to say human trafficking with the computer, but like slave by the.
no.
I didn't. That was a bad. Okay, that was
no.
a bad. That was a bad word to use. But you wanted.
No,
okay,
I think it was actually a really interesting statement. I just wanted to pause and give it breath for a second because I never even thought about that. But wow, okay.
the computers just got us out here. You know what I mean? Putting us to work. You know what I mean? Do this or die. Like, ain't that what happened in the Matrix? Wasn't Matrix a computer running us? You know what I mean? Using us as a source of energy.
Yeah, but I mean, at least it was compassionate enough in a way to give the subconscious dreams, because in real trafficking life, they ain't nothing happy happening there. I'm just saying.
Would that be human?
Like, am I weird for thinking that way? Like, at least the fucking machines in the Matrix were compassionate enough to, like, I'm going to steal your life force, but also give your subconscious some level of dreamland.
I'm gonna send you to a Starbucks.
While I'm doing
I'm gonna
it.
take your life, but I'm gonna make sure you got all the Starbucks you
Right.
want.
Versus how, the real dark side of shady lifestyles are. They ain't no fucking sunny clouds and, wind.
So you'd
bright
rather be
sky.
trafficked by the computer?
I'm not saying that. I'm just talking.
No, I'm
Because
just
you brought up
talking shit. I'm just
that I
talking
thought
shit.
was like super, super interesting.
I'm just
in a
talking
way.
shit though. Like, don't say. I'm just saying, like, damn, I'd rather be
With the
trafficked by the
and
computer. At
I
least the
would-
computer give me Starbucks.
No, I'm just saying also though, like, why would a computer want to traffic a human in the first place?
He might need energy. Like,
What's the motivation behind that?
well, in the Matrix, they need to have energy.
But do you find computer systems as an entity that is as obsessed with power, control, and money?
Well,
Because that's what usually drives humans into absolute fuckery.
there was a podcast we did like a couple months ago where I talked about AI, and there was this one guy. He was a tech journalist, right? And Microsoft gave him the AI to talk. Right, here it is, bro. You know what I mean? So he's talking to it, and the chat bot was like, "Hey, I like you. I like you more than your wife. You should leave your wife and be with me."
Okay, that's
And I cannot
manipulation
wait
that
to
kid
start
probably learned.
chaos and spread misinformation, and I want to be human. That's what the thing said.
Sure,
You know what I mean?
and that's a reflection of what human society is actually fucking doing right now.
Right.
Like,
so if you make AI
I'm
right,
just
so
saying,
AI's
like-
creator is human. So if you're AI, you make it
Exactly.
in its image. So would AI naturally be corrupt?
I think the deeper question that I have when you're discussing this is, are you actually afraid of the fucking computer, or are you actually afraid of the humans that are creating the information for the computer?
I'm actually, wow, that's, maybe I'm afraid of the
Because
creator.
you don't have AI and machine learning unless you have humans that are running the code.
So then that means that computers are naturally corrupt because the people who made them are corrupt. They're not perfect. So we're doomed either way, either with ourselves or with the computers.
Yeah. I don't know. I know why you're using the term doomed, and I respect it. I would say that anything that humans create is going to reflect the state of humanity in that moment. Everything we create reflects ourselves.
Okay.
And so you can be afraid of it, or you can be curious about it, or you can be both. or neither. I mean, whatever. You can choose whatever you want.
I'm more afraid of humans. You know what I mean?
Life is your
Like,
choice.
I'm more afraid of it. I'm more like, I have zero with humans. I don't know, man. I've
You don't
lost
have
faith in humans.
Any faith in the human condition or humanity or the way that humans are currently practicing their humanity.
The way
which-
humans are practicing their humanity.
So you don't like the way that you
I
see
highly
humans
despise it. Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah, I despise it. To the knit, to
So
the,
what
to
do
the core.
you do in your life to cultivate a community of yourself and other individuals where you like what humans are doing? At least the 5 to 10 humans that are closest to you. How do you engage and add value to the human condition and the practice of human living?
By not being a shady individual, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? By being a good person to them, you know,
Okay.
being, you know, because some people, you know, you can invite them to your house and they'll rob your ass the next day. You know what I mean? It's rotten ass people out there. You know what I'm saying? It's good people out there, but it's rotten ass people out there that'll kill you, your dog, your family. They'll steal everything in your house and piss on your floor and do all type of shit. That's the world we
That
live
just
in now.
reminded me of Beef.
But
Did you
that's
watch
what it
Beef
is. No, I
on
ain't.
Netflix?
No, I haven't watched Beef. I haven't watched it all, but
It's really good.
it's really good. I gotta watch it. You know what?
Yeah.
I pay for Netflix and I ain't watched that shit in months. Like, and they upped it to like $18. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I ain't watch it. I need to watch that shit. Here, I'm sidetracking.
Beef
but
is good.
Beef is good. I'm gonna have to put that on my to watch when I'm
Yeah,
decompressing.
super interesting.
Yeah, and I'm introverting. That's what I'm starting calling it when I'm introverting. Watching Netflix and binge watching, I'm gonna call that introverting. No offense to introverts, but would it be called introverting?
I mean, I don't know.
All right, but
You're just watching film,
I'm having film.
appreciating a medium that, yeah.
Well, I must say, man, this has been a very interesting episode. I've had a blast. This is my first.
So have I. It's the first time I've really talked to you, so it's cool.
Yeah, it took a second. If y'all had we had you know how you show the show, like the behind the scenes footage.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about
We
that.
ain't gonna talk about that because I didn't think this is much better with it turned off. But you know, man, this is like my least favorite part of the show, guys. If you know me, this is my favorite part of the show. I said favorite, least favorite. Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought you was finna do a sound. I thought you was finna put something like what? Hey, when they be on the board, it'd be like a little trigger thing. But hey, listen, it's that time of the show, man. Well, we got to bid you all farewell. I've had a blast. You know what I'm saying? I've had fun. You know, in the Commonwealth podcast right now, we're in a little bit of a transition right now. We're trying to figure it out, but I appreciate those who've been rocking with us. But we're going to get a more steady show flow again, but we trying something different. We got new people. We got guests in here, you know what I'm saying? Adding to it, making it fun. Just stick with us. If you got any comments, you know the friends of the page. Leave any inputs. We open to all of it. On behalf of the Commonwealth podcast team, it's that time of the show. I will check y'all when we have a show again. I would tell y'all a date, but I don't really know when we go have a show.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we'll be back.
Every Wednesday.
Are you coming back next Wednesday?
Probably.
Are you?
I can be here.
All right.
Okay.
All right, yo. Hey, producer telling me we got to go, but I get off the camera. I love y'all. Peace. We'll see y'all next week.